I'm not gonna lie to you, it's sad to see every great crew has to come to an end. It just always happens and throughout time. From Bone Thugs and Harmony to Dipset to the Nelk Boys is what we're seeing now. Crazy lineup to go from Bone Thugs to Dipset to the Nelk Boys. You guys probably didn't see that transition. But what I'm saying is no crew ever really lasts forever. I forgot to throw the Migos in there. I'm sure you can go and add a whole bunch more.
Well, right. So as it stands now, you're sort of separate, except for it seems like Happy Dad, right?
Yeah, dude, we're separate. It's just something, I don't know. It is what it is, man. There's no hate. I gotta express this now. So there's a team. No, who is it? Kyle, Salim, and the team, right? Steiny, like all the nerds, whatever. I'm not gonna count. Love them all. Without Kyle, I don't know where I'd be, right? Just can't hate him. Can't hate. I really blame people behind the scenes in suit and ties, and they probably don't even wear suit and ties. They don't. Okay. Because they don't think that's cool. But that's who I blame. I think Nelk could have been the biggest thing in the world if it wasn't for people coming in.
Yeah.
I think we could have been the biggest thing on planet Earth. And we were at one point, right? I think.
Yeah. Especially on,
like the influence of we have, like all the grown-ups that are all growing up right now, we influence them. Like all the up and coming people that are gonna run the world, and if we like, I don't know, I don't know how many people I've talked to that was like, once you hit college, it's just like, whoa, just full send and Nelk and shit, like back in the day, right? Or even to have that type of influence is pretty cray.
Yeah, it's crazy how it kind of all went, because I was obviously a part of it in a different way, mostly doing videos with you and doing content with you, but to see it go from like what it was to where it is now is a little bit disappointing, because it just felt like there was not so much there wasn't much importance placed on like everyone, and it seemed like you kind of mentioned, people coming in and just being like, how could I make the most money for myself from this?
SteveWillDoIt and the Nelk Boys had an amazing relationship, and the content that they did at their peak was just amazing. I used to tell everybody in my neighborhood, see, where I grew up, it really wasn't the target market for the Nelk Boys, but Lord did I love their content. Lord, yo, I always think about all the time on how great the Coke prank was. Remember that Coca-Cola prank on the cops? And when they popped it, there was just a whole bunch of Coca-Cola cans, but they kept saying it was Coke in the car. Amazing. And I know they weren't the first to do it, nor the last, but when they did it, amazing.
Coca-Cola, yeah. It's not ours though. It's all natural. And Vail. Hey, don't worry, it's cool. Where are you from? I'm from like me and you, like brothers like us. We're one of a kind, man. From deep end. Just tell him, like, he's telling you now you're different now. Don't worry, my dad's black. I know I'm light skinned, but my dad's black. No way. Heart attack, bro. I was about to pass out. Where did he take you? He just took me down to the street and he said, get out and leave. What?
The cop just said, get out and leave.
Did he take any money from you?
No, I don't have none on me.
He said you had weed on you.
What? What would I have?
He said you had a knife and weed.
They took the brother and they said you got a knife and marijuana on you. I'm still scared for some reason.
They went to that wine, the vineyard, and I think SteveWillDoIt was playing Ayo with another dude and they throwing wine all over each other. There is so many great pranks. Happy Dad, you guys know that's the only seltzer water I really enjoy. If I'm drinking seltzer water, it's always Happy Dad. I buy them all the time. Summertime is coming. Just know my house will be filled with Happy Dads this summer. And I've been in the gym a lot more, so I will be on that Happy Dad wave heavy again. But I have been noticing over the last couple months with Nelk Boys, like, yo, it's just been weird. Like, they all haven't been together. They have not been together for what I can see. They kind of all been doing their own thing. And there's even times where they all link up, but there's always a main person missing. And I always felt like it was Steve. Like, yo, where has Steve been? And Steve's back on YouTube, killing it. If you guys been looking at SteveWillDoIt's numbers lately, he just dropped a new video which he was showing, and it was a great success. Him playing board games or some type of games in the hood. I haven't watched it yet, but I have seen the numbers and it looks insane. Again, SteveWillDoIt is one of those guys, and it kind of looks like he was back to doing his own thing. So it left us supporters always thinking, what's the relationship with SteveWillDoIt and Nelk Boys? They haven't really dissed each other or nothing like that, but the internet and the comment section was kind of like building up a beef between Kyle and Steve. I didn't know if it was true, but what I'm seeing now, it looks like the beef might not really just be directly Steve and Kyle, but Steve does give us a lot more information as just a behind the scenes look of actually what's the relationship between both of them. And it was actually a little bit shocking to me, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Time that you linked up with Steve though. Like
I actually saw him in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was at UFC, past UFC with Gaethje and. Yeah. I saw him there, and then actually on Sunday we watched the football games. That was the first time I've seen him in like 6 to 8 months. He's just very independent and he does his own thing. It's nothing personal, but he's just very independent. Likes doing what he likes to do. Basically, it's nothing. I don't think there's any bad blood, to be honest. Kind of respect, I guess. Like me and Kyle, like a couple other guys, like we've known each other for a long. We like doing certain stuff. So he likes doing his thing. We like doing our thing. It's nothing crazy.
No, I like that because there's a lot of people that ask too as well. But I also that's why I said like we can cut it out too as well. If
No, you can leave it. I don't give a fuck.
So stuff like that because he's not banned on YouTube no more. So it's like you guys can collab more, or you personally too as well.
Yeah, I guess he has his own channel. I guess Nelk has their own channel. No one's stopping anyone from doing their own thing at Nelk. Like Kyle's always gives people freedom to do whatever they want.
That's the best part.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the best part because it grows the brand either way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's genius.
Yeah. So yeah, he doesn't really stop anyone from doing. Like Steiny has his own podcast.
Yeah.
Like Full Send podcast. Like Steve has his own channel. Salim has the Full Send Golf. We're all in it.
Sub to the channel. Don't forget we're on that road to 22,000 subscribers. But we see SteveWillDoIt explain on how he feels backstabbed by the Nelk Boys. He's talking to Bradley Martin, and he's even given different examples on how he feels backstabbed by the Nelk Boys while speaking with Bradley Martin.
I would never say that to my people and not like try my hardest and then say if it doesn't work out, I'd be like, dude, like let's do something cool instead of like having me have to hang out with people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like hang out with like, oh, we're going to a fight and bringing people to hang out with or this, that. It's like, nah, I don't know. So yeah, a little anger there. It's just whatever. Just growing Full Send and Nelk and everything and just having no ownership or involvement.
But didn't you have ownership at one point?
Yeah, dude, and they said you have 15% for free. And
Free's funny because free.
And then you get extra 5%.
Free's also
no, you have 10% for free for what you've done. Okay.
So not free. Free is what you.
But if you invest, $500,000 right now, like we need it by tomorrow, you'll get a free 15% plus an additional 5%, which is 20%. So yeah, did that, sent the money, got nothing out of it. Years later, nothing. Had to threaten them to act. People like to say oh, Steve's crazy. No, Steve is fed up.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, bro. I've been around firsthand, so I've seen it. I've had conversations with you, obviously off camera, about stuff.
And I'll say this, bro. Kyle Forgeard found me when I was nothing, brought me out. I killed it, everything, but he discovered me, found me. Whatever. There's no disrespect towards him. I love him. I think there's just certain people in suit and ties that get involved that don't give a about anybody but themselves and their family. Like me, I care about the fans. Yeah. Some stupid guy in a suit and tie does not care about our fans. So I think that was just the #1 mistake in everything. It's not, so this is no shade to Kyle Forgeard. It's shade to whatever people, his advisors, okay? Whoever that is.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be his mom telling him what to do. I don't know. It's not him. Okay? It's just, so yeah.
I hear it. I mean, there has to be some level of responsibility there too, though, just on the fact that like that person, Kyle, also has to make those decisions. But I get it. I mean, everyone's making decisions that they think are probably best for themselves and also for the company at the time. But
yeah, and it's always like, oh, you make so much money.
And again, he talks about how he loves Kyle and how Kyle really put him on the game. Kyle found him when he had less than 1,000 subscribers and he was still working to try to get to where he's at today. Kyle believed in him. Kyle put that battery in his back and put the Nelk Boy branding around him. Yo, a lot of people always thought I was tweaking when I used to talk about the Nelk Boys, but during their prime, they were big as hell, bro. They were going crazy when Jesse was still there as well. But I feel like when Jesse left, it just still continued to get huge polls. And you can see Steve was saying that in the beginning of that, he was just happy to be an official Nelk Boy. And that definitely helped him out a lot, self-admitted. But as time goes on, I can probably say you guys could prove me wrong. Other than Kyle himself, and even probably including Kyle, I would say SteveWillDoIt became the most popular person in the Nelk Boy crew. With Salim, all of them in there, me personally, I think SteveWillDoIt became the most popular one. To the point that he was doing both content. He was doing SteveWillDoIt content, going crazy, even chilling with people like 6ix9ine and all that, which we seen them beef, make up again. They're cool again. But we see him doing content with him, doing his own content, still doing Nelk Boy content. He was always giving out money, doing everything.
Not really like.
But from and I keep talking about people behind the scenes. How can I come and make the most money from this and just like put aside the most important people, which are the fans? Like I'm telling you, like when you, the guy, that's why the whole Metacard thing is stupid. It's like you're really like disrespecting the fans.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
So it's like, and then I'm tired. Thank God I didn't speak about it, like, because I was just like following our orders, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna own a gym. This is so cool.
Yeah, but then also the sad part is that you're also the person that's gonna get the most shade and hate from it not being what everyone said it was gonna be because you're the front facing. Yeah,
potentially. But since I didn't speak much on it, and since I'm such a real, I mean, I never really had no issues.
Yeah,
but I mean, issues personally on my page or my video, I guess they're there, but it's so I don't know. There's just not many for me to notice. But on like a Twitter page or like the dedicated page, or you read Reddit or whatever, yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, I get it.
Because I'm, you know, I f up sometimes, but if I say something, I mean it. Like I may change my mind a lot or like forget things, but like I just know if it was actually me, like who came up with that, I would have tried harder.
Yeah.
And if it didn't work out, would have done something else
To get
man.
back,
I
yeah.
don't know, man.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, I mean, it don't always go the way people plan it. But yeah, you're right. You gotta have the right intentions in it. I think maybe just that wasn't there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, in the past, focus on the present and future and just being smarter.
And then he got banned from YouTube. You guys know that was like a big hiccup in his career. That was nuts. We were still seeing him slightly on different platforms, but it didn't seem like he was dealing with it a bit too well. And I'm happy to see that he's back on YouTube. Even though you guys know, you guys wanted to kill me last time. It's so funny how I'm sure it was like a whole bunch of people that their melanin isn't nowhere near mine. We're just like, why would you even have an opinion on such a thing? I was like, yo, SteveWillDoIt is back on YouTube, bro. We always cheer for you. The hood loves you as well. Just stop saying nigga. What was that for? I had a whole bunch of 12-year-old white boys trying to pack me out. He can say it if he wants. The best example I've ever seen was this random nigga right here. Was like, yo, Steve, I'm not gonna lie, you shouldn't be saying that word. And by the end of the sentence, he's like, yo, say it again. Say it again. Like, yo, this nigga is a clown, bro. I don't even know who this guy is, but he came in trying to assert himself and then really just bent over and received it. To the point this nigga's like, call me it. I don't care. I'm gonna give you the pass. You're the only one that can say it. Say it to me.
Hey, Steve! It's been so long. I just saw you like, hi, nigga. Alright, Steve. I love you, bro. I'm gonna go downstairs.
Imagine someone hates us for that.
Nah, what'd you say? Nothing. He didn't mean it.
I said hi, nigga. I meant that. Alright.
They are saying W, Steve. Alright, I'm gonna go down. I love you. Hug, brother.
Fake. We love you. This is my nigga. The guy behind the camera, my nigga. I own that shit.
Hold on. I got it.
This is my nigga too.
I got it. No. I love you. You can't say that, brother.
You know how much Steve's done for the hood?
Huh?
Steve's done so much for the hood.
You have. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'll give him a pass.
I'm saying I own it.
I'll give you a pass.
I own it.
I'll give you a pass.
I believe it. I feel it. And if you want to say something against me, then go fuck yourself.
I'll give him a pass.
They're saying you got aura, bro.
Bro, it's true.
This the only white person I allowed to say.
Bro, you want to fuck with me?
Truth. You can say it. Say it again. Fuck it. Say it again.
I love my niggas, bro. Straight up.
Add the ER if you want, add the A however you prefer, my boy. Like, damn what the money could do to somebody. And even Neon's like, you know how much SteveWillDoIt did for the hood? That's great, nigga. So wait, you did it for the hood just so you can call us a nigga? That's why you helped out the hood? I don't believe that about Steve. I believe Steve's a great guy. I believe Steve helped out whoever he helped out in the hood because he really wanted to do it. He wanted to make change. And he felt like doing it with his money at the time. We see him doing stuff he never even had to do. I'm sure Steve has even gave to people off camera that we don't even know about. There's no way you out there giving PS5s so you can call somebody a nigga. I'm gonna give you this PlayStation, but you know what comes with that. Like, nah, I don't believe that about SteveWillDoIt. I don't believe that. So again, just for those that are gonna probably keep that in their heart, I still feel like he shouldn't say it. I'm gonna always feel like that. Do I like Steve's content? Yes. Do I believe Steve's a bad guy? Not at all.
Money, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But no, all my money that was made from that side of things was 75% of SteveWillDoIt merch.
Yeah.
Okay? When we sold $12 million in full send merch, My check was 400 grand. Okay.
Yeah.
My small percent.
Part of that was Bradley Martin sold me drugs T-shirts that I made no money from.
So when I actually made 1.1 million or whatever total.
Yeah.
The most I made or whatever is million. Most of that money, you got to think, was selling Steve merch. 75% was Steve. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like we sell $12 million of merch, and we only did it one time. We did no repeat. After that, it was 8, and then it just kept going lower. But if you only make 400 grand off $12 million of merch sales, I'm not the one that's take. It's just SteveWillDoIt merch does very well.
Yeah.
So there's this always thing like, oh, you got paid so much money. Well, you know, since SteveWillDoIt merch did pretty well, you know, throughout every single drop.
And so when you started to get like the other percentage ownership of like everything else, that's when it kind of didn't matter at that point, is what you're saying, because there wasn't really money there at that point.
No, it was all fake ownership. Like getting a raise from 5% to 8% in merch sales. You sit down and say, yeah, okay, you have a raise, 8%. Yippee. In the contract is, if it does $8 million plus or more in sales.
So you had to hit a high number to get really anything bonus.
I know, but that's something you have.
Yeah.
You know, it's something you do in person when you having that original conversation. It's like, I don't know, just maybe that's just how business is done. I obviously don't operate the same.
Yeah.
But I don't with bad business, dude.
I get it.
I'm lying.
SteveWillDoIt is just saying that it was just terrible business behind the scenes with Nelk Boys, and it really wasn't Kyle himself. He's kind of blaming more the suits that got involved throughout the time as Nelk continued to grow. But he shows an example of an NFT that made a lot of millions for them. I wanted to say he said 20 million, and they were supposed to open gyms, do a whole bunch of stuff with it. He's saying none of that ever happened. Where's the money at? He didn't even get nothing from it. He was out there promoting it, and that's when he started noticing things were getting weird. Also, at the prime of Nelk, which I remember they were always promoting their videos, yo, we don't monetize in this because we use music and we be tweaking, so make sure you guys buy some merch. I almost bought merch before. I remember I almost bought a cooler or something, some ping pong balls and party cups, like a beer pong set that said full send. So he's saying that during their prime, their highest peak ever, they sold 12 million. And you wanna know what his share was out of that 12 million? Where he's saying SteveWillDoIt's merch was actually one of the most popular merch that was sold at that time during that 12 million. He only got $400,000, which is crazy. Out of 12 million, you got 400,000, and that was the highest ever. So how about when it sold 1 million? What the hell, what was you getting if most of the merch was being sold under your name, or it's actually SteveWillDoIt merch? And Bradley Martin's in the back like, yeah, bro, merch was dropped with my name. I never got a single dollar. So he might not be lying on that. It's like, who's doing the math? Who's cutting this up? Where did these percentages come out from?
One thing people don't really know too is like, even though those merch numbers were like so high, believe it or not, money in my like specific pocket personally, and like Jesse's as well, because we were the two owners of Nelk, right? Steve wasn't really like, he wasn't an owner of Nelk. He was getting paid out in cash from merch. So the amount of money that me and Jess, as an owner, sometimes you take less cash, right? Because you own the equity. Yeah. So you can ask Jesse too. I mean, we weren't personally making a lot off the merch operation because it was money in, and then we had to pay out like a lot of people. And then it was also, when we're traveling in Europe, you're bringing 15 people, you're getting an Airbnb every single week. You're spending on flights, videos, like that money goes quick. Maybe some people are suing us for pranks behind the scenes that we've, like some people during pranks. So everything added up. So even the merch business, as much, when it's all said and done, like gross and then minus profit for like goods, shipping, everything like that. Personally, in my bank account, I never really got too rich off merch. Yeah, I kind of used to like manage him more. Like obviously, like when I met him, my promise to him was when I saw who he really was, like, cause I saw the drinking and stuff, but when I met him and I like fell in love with his personality, I felt like, you know, we were at 2 million subscribers. I kind of had figured out the game. And like my promise to Steve was really just like, bro, like if you trust me, like I feel like I can help make you like rich and like successful. And I think I see something in you, and I think I can help guide you and like make you successful. And I think that was like our mission. And I feel like that's what we did. But he's just a guy. He's just a guy that's like, he's just going to do whatever the he wants. You know what I'm saying? So I think he has a lot of other people in his ear now too, where it's like everyone wants a piece of him. You know what I'm saying? He's SteveWillDoIt. He's the man. So the one thing I can never do with Steve is not be honest with him. And like, that's just who I am, bro. Like when people ask me for advice, like I'm not a person that can be really any type of yes man or like beat around the bush or like tell someone what they want to hear. And like, yeah, whenever Steve does ask me for advice, I'll tell him straight up like what I think. And like, if that's offensive or if that's something he doesn't want to hear, and that goes for Steiny, anybody that asks me for advice, like I'm going to be blunt and I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell you what I actually think. So, but now, I mean, me and Steve are cool. It's not like like the internet likes to make it some, like we have beef or something like that. Like I'll see him tonight.
That's what that's what I've seen a lot of the comments.
But no, it's like, I think right now we're just kind of on two different paths right now. And I think Steve's like, I don't know, he's doing his thing and he's crushing his YouTube. And like, I'm loving his content. I'm watching like every video. His editors, I know his editor, Alex, is killing the edits too. And like, I'm happy for him. I think we're just on like two different paths at the moment. I don't know. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with content and YouTube too, because I'm getting older. I'm 31. Like, I'm trying to figure out like, how does this old Nelk Kyle kind of continue and what's my next chapter, you know, because I'm not really drinking and partying like I used to too.
And we'll talk a bit more about it because Kyle gives us more info. But before we get there, let's just explain what Steve said. Steve also shares that he was giving equity in a company. If you guys know what equity means, ownership. He was given ownership of the company. He even invested $500,000 to gain more equity of the company that he was allegedly being promised. He said nothing came from it. Nothing came from it at all. He gave him the $500,000. Nothing came from it. So he looks at it again like another waste of time where people playing with Steve will do it. And he said that it wasn't like, oh, let me get my money back and he got it so easily like Kyle will explain later. He had to make threats. And what I'm thinking is legal threats for him to get his money back. Kyle explains that situation a bit later, and the way he makes it sound is like, oh, he wanted his money back and we literally wired it in 1 minute. That's not how Steve's making it sound. And with something like $500,000 being on the line and equity and you not wanting to be an owner anymore and try to get back out, I can see it not being such a smooth transaction for you to get exactly back what you're worth. Because they're probably like, yo, Nelk was bigger at the time when you bought equity. Your $500,000 isn't worth $500,000 today. You have to wait a little bit longer till we sell the company. And a lot of this really just makes me feel like SteveWillDoIt was happy to be offered a contract by Nelk at that time. He still wasn't as big as he was, is why he took a lot of things. Like again, another last example, that 15%. I guess they charge everyone 15% of whatever deal they get due to management. And SteveWillDoIt at the time probably didn't give a hell because he wasn't getting booked like he was now. Now SteveWillDoIt I think is bigger than Kyle or anyone there. So he's probably looking at like, why am I giving you niggas 15% when I'm bigger than y'all? You gotta understand it was a process to get you this big and it was a lot of management that went behind the scenes. But I get it. It's what happens in business. And a lot of people do think of YouTube like it was just this fun place where you make content and make videos. Bro, money is being split. It's why everybody wants to make a podcast with their boys, because no one's making money yet. But as soon as that shit starts monetizing, y'all gonna start arguing on how that should be split. If somebody's out there editing, doing the audio, yo, bro, I should get more than you because I'm doing more work. I'm doing the content. I'm also editing. The other one's like, bro, I'm thinking about all the topics. This is my house. I'm paying the rent. I'm paying the electricity. It's always gonna be an issue when money is involved. And now when we start getting to Kyle, we hear a bit more from that side, explaining a lot of the things that Steve talked about.
So there's been a lot said about me online recently and about how things work with Steve and Nelk. So I'm gonna be talking about that right now. No personal shots, just the facts. In 2019, Steve signed a deal with Nelk that clearly outlined how he would get paid for merch, brand deals, appearances, everything. So on Steve's personal merch, he received 70% of the net profits. Nelk's 30% was not pure profit. It covered the design, the production, the fulfillment, inventory, everything that it takes to make a successful merch drop. A 70% creator split while the company manages full operations is a very strong deal. So now let's talk about how much money Steve earned from Nelk. So I'm gonna pop up something here. It's a year-by-year breakdown of personal cash earnings for me and Steve. So you can see here from 2019 to 2023 how much I made and how much Steve made each year. Over that stretch, personally, I earned just under $3.5 million. Over that same stretch, Steve earned just over $12 million in cash. And these payments were just from Nelk. Steve also did outside third-party brand deals independently from Nelk. In our deal, there was a standard 15% management fee for Nelk on these outside deals, but I chose not to enforce that percentage on several major deals. On those deals, Steve kept the full 100% amount. So the reason I earned less than Steve during that time is pretty simple. The money had to stay in Nelk so we could keep shooting videos. Shooting these videos was not cheap. You have the production, the filmers, the editors, the travel, All that required real capital. When we were traveling through Europe with 15 people so we could shoot, edit, and upload a video every single week, the Airbnbs, the production, the travel, that stuff was not cheap. If the money didn't stay in the company, then these videos would not get made.
Kyle's like, bro, we gave him back his $500,000. We gave him back his $500,000 plus a 50 for interest, since he didn't really understand how equity worked and he thought he was gonna get his money right away. Another thing which Kyle shows is $12 million is what Steve made, where he made $3 million. Because as an owner, or if you're running a channel yourself, you know you need money to keep this channel going. Like all the monetization stuff that I get, I don't really keep it. I book crazy trips. Like we went and saw Bad Bunny. We went to London, saw Drake, came home to Miami, turned up, I forgot what we went to go see Playboy Cardi The Weeknd, did a vlog there, then jumped back on a plane, flew to Puerto Rico and stayed out there for 5 days and then saw Bad Bunny do the whole residency. Bro, I had to pay for all that shit. Guess what paid for it? These videos. That's how I was able to pay. That's what I did with my monetization of last year. I booked the London trip, went and saw Drake, bought merch, which I had to do unboxings and all that to continue making revenue off that. Saw The Weeknd, did content on that, did unboxings on that, then flew to Puerto Rico a couple days later, went to a Bad Bunny show, went to the immersive experience. We bought floor seats. That shit wasn't cheap. We were on the floor for Bad Bunny, super close up if you guys ever watched that vlog. Flew back, then turned up again and went to Halloween Horror Nights and all this shit. How do you think we keep all this shit going? We just keep using the money. As monetization keeps paying me out, I just keep investing it back in the channel, booking stuff. And a lot of times I'm booking stuff for me and OJ at these events. So the profit I would have made, I'm not even really making profit. I'm kind of cutting even because I'm booking 2 things. It's like really cutting even a lot of the times. If I'm lucky to even cut even. Sometimes we're cutting negative, but you know, it just at least helps to blow, pause. So when Kyle says he makes 12 and I made 3, I can understand that because Kyle chose, instead of me actually making 12 like you, let's keep this money in there and let's keep flying all around the world, booking Airbnbs, doing all these crazy ass experiences, booking these cameramen to go with us, editors. It's a lot that goes with running a company. So I totally understand what Kyle was explaining on that side. Again, am I saying this true? I'm not seeing actual numbers. I'm just seeing what Kyle's saying. I'm not seeing Steve saying he made 12 for sure. I'm just saying if those numbers are true, what Kyle is showing us, it makes sense to me.
So as the owner, it was my job and my priority to keep the money in the company and pay the people that made the content possible over taking more money personally. So let's talk about Steve's equity in Nelk. First of all, equity means ownership. It's not monthly pay. Equity becomes valuable as the company grows and eventually sells, goes public, or becomes extremely profitable. It's pretty much a long-term bet on the future of the company. I explained clearly what the equity meant to Steve, and I gave him 10% of the company, and he also chose to invest $500,000 for an additional 5%. At that time, nobody, including me, was taking extra owner payouts. The structure of the company didn't change because Steve became an owner. The money had to stay in the business if we wanted to pay the people that made the content possible so we could keep making videos. I explained to Steve that equity is long-term and it could pay off over time and it's not immediate cash flow. Over time, Steve made it clear that he preferred immediate cash over holding ownership for a potential long-term outcome. So we returned his $500,000 plus $50,000 in interest. Like I said earlier, there was a 15% management fee on Steve's outside deals to Nelk. And as Steve's business grew, he wanted full independence and no longer wanted to do any type of revenue sharing with Nelk. At his request, we agreed to that structure and he no longer held equity in Nelk. That meant that Nelk would no longer be able to collect 15% on his outside deals and he would no longer have equity in Nelk. The separation agreement formalized that, we both signed it, and today there are no revenue sharing between Nelk and Steve. Also for clarity, Steve was granted 15% of Happy Dad when we started the company, and he remains one of the largest shareholders today. And when Steve's channel was deleted, I had no control over that decision. I reached out to him immediately and he asked me for advice. I told him the fastest way back would be to handle it professionally, don't escalate things online, and he can stay in Nelk content while things cool off. Ultimately, he chose a different route. That was not my decision and I had no control over it. I thought that the ban could have lasted a lot shorter if it was handled a different way. Those are the facts.
And there's a lot of other things that Kyle speaks about as well, as you guys saw throughout the video. And all I can think about this is, damn, the Nelk would really never be the same. And we see other cast members from Nelk Boys go on interviews and be like, yo, Steve been doing his own shit. We chilled with Steve this weekend. We even watched a couple football games. And then that was the first time I seen Steve in months. I haven't seen Steve in 7 to 8 months. Remember, Steiny used to always be with Steve. Wasn't that his assistant at one point? And then he just joined the Full Send podcast, and that was like a little beef at first. But even that, like, bro, we see even Steiny. We see everyone more than we see Steve Will Do It in today's time. And if you want to see Steve, you got to look up his own channel. You got to look up it to see what he's doing. And Steve told us out of his own mouth. Steve's just tired of it. Steve's feeling like they've been taking advantage of him, and he's just tired of it. Now, is that true? I don't know. I can't see in. Outside looking in, I think it was just a lot of contracts that were probably signed at a different time today. It wasn't the same Steve Will Do It. It wasn't the same monetization. It wasn't the same followers. It wasn't you same supporters of Steve Will Do It at that time. Even he explains he had less than 1,000 subscribers when they first started showing him love. But he continued to grow. And Kyle said when he saw Steve, he told Steve, I can see you being great. I can see you being one of the biggest. And he wasn't wrong, because he even grew to surpass everyone on Full Send and being bigger, some would argue, than Nelk Boys themselves. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is something that we can see them get past in the future, or is this just going down in history how every other crew goes? In the beginning, everything is going great. And then when more money and more money and more money start coming in, and more success and more success and more success, beef then tends to follow. Everyone wants to be Beyonce. No one wants to be Michelle. Is that what we're seeing now? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm praying for the best for their relationship. I'm hoping that everything continues to go well with the Happy Dad business, and hopefully we can see that reciprocate back into Full Send and Nelk, because they need the full crew. I feel like they need the full crew, and they got to get back to how they was with the pranks and all that to really get Nelk where it was in Full Send. Don't forget, we're on that road to 22,000 subscribers. Sub up, and let me know your thoughts about this situation.